Hi everyone. So this is a review on glass cups. You all are thinking this is going to probably be the stupidest, dumbest review you could possibly think of, and you are probably right about that. So these three cups right here, yes, all three of them were produced by different companies or distributed by different companies or whatever it is. This is what we call borosilicate glass. A long while back, I think Corning used to make something that was kind of like a glass that you could heat up in the microwave or so. This is technically the same thing. I'm going to tell you straight up, the reason why these glasses exist in my world is mainly because I like to drink coffee, iced coffee, and the benefit of these glasses is they are a dual layer, a double layer glass. What does that mean? That means that it's slightly better insulated. Now, is it extremely well insulated? No, it's not. It's glass. Does it diffuse heat and cold as regular glass would? No, it doesn't. So I'm going to show this as close as I can. There are two layers, one internal layer and one external layer of glass, and in between it is pretty much a tight air seal or whatever you want to call it, where there's a layer of air between it and the cup inside. So the benefit of this is the fact that on the outside, if it's cold on the inside, there's no condensation that occurs. And even if you put a hot item in here, you won't burn your hand. You're going to feel the heat and you're going to feel the cold because it still conducts to this glass on the outside, but not as bad. You can hold it. I've had boiling water in here. I've had ice cold stuff in here, and it is fairly comfortable to the touch. One of the things about borosilicate glass is it's extremely recyclable, and I guess as everyone, as you all will know throughout my videos, is that I have started a process of being more ecologically friendly, environmentally friendly, whatever you want to call it. So these things help with that. The thing about borosilicate glass is pretty much it's regular glass with amounts of boron in it. The benefit of adding boron to glass is because it improves something called thermal conductivity. Regular glass, if you stick it in the microwave, there's a good chance that it's going to shatter. If it's at room temperature and you make it all of a sudden freezing cold, there's a good chance that it's going to shatter. The benefit of boron in glass is the fact that it can go from whatever temperature to an extremely different temperature, and it won't shatter, it won't break, nothing's going to happen to it. It's microwavable as well too, so it makes it really, really nice. The other side of the coin is, yes, these things are fragile, so children need not apply to these kinds of glasses because if they drop it, it will shatter. Guaranteed. I think this particular cup right here is a 20 ounce, roughly about a 20 ounce cup. The first time I ordered it, the first one came in completely shattered in the container, so I got a replacement. This does come with a lid, and yes, once again, this lid is glass. It is probably more fragile than this cup is, and there is no true buffer to prevent the glass from touching on glass. So if you drop it on glass, something's going to shatter at some point, so you do have to be gentle. This is the outside of all these cups. This is glass, so it is a lot more slippery as well too, which I will say if these glasses were produced a little bit better, if they came with some kind of banding or whatever it might be so we can hold it without slipping, that would be really, really nice as well too. But ultimately, they aren't. These other cups right here, they come with lids. This is a bamboo lid, and it has a silicone kind of enclosure device or so as well too to kind of keep water and fluid or so on the inside. This is a 10 ounce cup, this is a 12 ounce cup, and this is a 20 ounce cup. I have actually used the smaller 10-ounce cup mainly for hot teas, which it works really, really well. It's about the right size. It's nice to steep in, and ultimately it works really, really well. Borosilicate glass or so. It has worked for, like I said, hot and cold temperatures. As a travel companion, these things are not the best to use as a travel companion unless you're just a snooty person and got to have your coffee in a very snooty way, which in a sense, I will say that I probably do. And so I use this cup right here whenever I make my coffee. I put my ice in it and I move on, and I bring it with me almost everywhere I go. The difference is, instead of using this glass cup because of how fragile it is, I actually have taken the 12-ounce cup's glass or so, the lid on it, the bamboo lid, and I've actually used it, so it actually fits. And it fits a lot, it fits fairly nice, surprisingly enough. I think the 10-ounce cup or so, it fits as well too, but it's just not the nicest fit as the 12-ounce cup is. So you can kind of get these, all you have to type in is borosilicate glass, and these things will pop up. These are double-walled borosilicate glass. Borosilicate, like I said, glass, it can be single-walled or double-walled. It's just glass, how they make it. But these are double-walled for a reason. They are very, very nice, very, very fragile, and yes, they are a lot heavier than other products that are designed for travel, but for glass or so, they weigh just about the same. The reason why they weigh just about the same is because the glass is thinner. So I would not recommend putting these glasses on a glass surface. That's not the best thing to do in the world for it. I actually put them on coasters most of the time because most of my furniture, tops or so, are glass. So I don't really want them to shatter. I know that I can be very rough to devices, but this is not like Corning Gorilla Glass 6 or Victus or whatever it is. So no, you do want to be a little gentle with them, but they're very, very nice to have. They work very, very well. They have lasted for, I think, I got this one first, and it's lasted for, I think, about 4 or 5 months now without breaking because I'm very gentle with it. I do stir my coffee in it as well too, and I use a metal spoon to stir it. It hasn't really gotten a lot of scratches or anything, which is extremely surprising considering how much I use a metal spoon and to stir stuff with. I'm assuming using plastic it wouldn't scratch it as much, but metal technically should scratch at some point. Very, very easy to clean overall. I'm gonna say technically that these things are dishwasher safe so long as other items don't touch it or don't bump into it. But I would recommend that these things are cleaned in the sink instead of through a dishwasher because they are extremely fragile, and I hear stories and reviews about them getting broken through the dishwasher as well too. So my recommendation is, hey, wash it in the sink, let it dry the way it normally does. It can be heated or dried or whatever it is. Like I said, it has very, very good thermal properties to it. Those thermal properties is mainly because there's boron added to it. Who knew just a bit of boron infused in glass or so will make it a lot more durable than you could imagine. Go figure. Are they the greatest products in the world? No. Are they the worst products in the world? No. But they are products that actually are very, very nice to have if you're that kind of person who has to have their tea or the coffee in glass. I like glass. Like I said, the reason why is because I have gone away from plastics. You always have plastics or so. They will degrade. And the more you use plastic, the more it will degrade. It may not have BPA in it, but the inside of plastics or so, they chip off. And microplastics or so, they exist. It occurs with plastic or so. So you're consuming plastic if you use the same reusable plastic containers over and over again. It's just gonna happen. Glass, on the other hand, it doesn't really break that easily. It doesn't chip that easily. It doesn't abrade itself very easily. And if it does or so, it's glass. It's non-conductive. It doesn't really cause problems in the human body. We haven't never heard of any particular situation other than large glass shards cutting people because they eat glass. But micro glass or so is technically sand. Sand is never, people eat sand all the time, go figure. If you go to the beach and you face plant on the beach or so, you're probably eating a little bit of sand. The amount of sand that you're going to get from a cup, probably not as much as you get on the beach, and nobody's died of sand on the beach unless it's from some kind of weird infection or parasite. It's not the sand, it's the infection and the parasite. I like the ones, the lids with the bamboo, more than the ones with the glass lids or so. Like I said, this is silicone. Silicone is not the most environmentally friendly substance in the world, but there is no plastic utilized here. The boxes that these came in are fairly, I would say they do protect the glass, but they are just plain Jane boxes. There's no major advertisement or logos or anything like that on these boxes, and they're fairly, pricing wise, they're okay priced. They're not the most expensive cups I've ever bought, but no, they don't cut. They're closer on the slightly more than normal cost side than the cheap side. So these items aren't cheap, but they are fragile. So you kind of wonder, well, if they're so fragile, they're probably a cheap item. No, they're not a cheap item whatsoever. They are made the way they are to be lightweight. So the glass is thinner. That makes it more fragile, but once again, it's a balance of weight versus functionality. If you're gentle and careful with it, it's a great product. If you live in a world that might be a bit more brutal, children might be in the presence of these things, or you're going to use the dishwasher more than you're going to be able to wash these things, this is probably not for you. But for somebody who might be a coffee enthusiast and prefers glass cups over plastic or metal cups or so because they think the coffee tastes better in a glass cups, and it's probably all psychological, this is it. I like glass. I've always liked glass. Like I said, I like the environmental friendliness of it. It's easy to recycle because it's glass. Borosilicate glass versus regular glass. Glass is glass. It's easy to recycle. If you like these, I've got all of these on Amazon.com. So ultimately, these items are available. All you have to type in is double wall glass cups, or it's like if you type in borosilicate glass, you're just going to get all these items that are glass that are produced using borosilicate glass. But if you type in double wall cups, these are all double wall cups. So if you want to see, there's an inner cup and an outer cup on all of these. And they all come in different configurations as well too. But ultimately they work really good for a convenience when it comes to not having to deal with really hot glass if you put some hot item in it. And on the most side, if you put something cold, at least the outside of it will never have condensation. So that's the greatest parts about this glass. And as I mentioned, and I always do, they are environmentally friendly as well too. Thank you for watching my video.